The most common English phrases, sentences. I've had enough of. Examples. I've had enough of her continual chatter. I've had enough of your complaining. Haven't you had enough of him? I found him so boring. I've had enough of the traffic here. I've had enough of this city. Dialogues. New York City is a tough place to live.
Yeah, it's so crowded and the pollution is so bad.
You know, I've had enough of this city. I'm going to quit my job and move to the country.
What will you do for a job?
I don't know. I'll do anything as long as it means getting out of here.
Well, I don't think changing your environment will make things better. You should learn to be content where you are first.
I wonder if. Examples. I wonder if it would be convenient to visit you next Monday. I wonder if Mr. Wang could arrange a meeting with me. I was wondering if the manager would agree with my design. I was wondering if you could come to the meeting this afternoon. Dialogues.
Excuse me, miss, I wonder if I could have a few minutes of your time.
Why?
Well, I'd like to introduce you to the new Supermodel ZX2000 vacuum cleaner.
I'm sorry, but I'm in a hurry now. I don't have time to try it out.
That's no problem. Excuse me for interrupting you. Here, have my card.
Thanks. If I get a chance, I will check out your vacuum cleaner another time. I would rather than. Examples. I would rather stay than leave. He would rather work all day long than do nothing. The mother would rather die than lose her child. She'd rather resign than take part in such shameful business deals. Dialogues. I'm desperate for money right now.
What's the matter?
I don't have enough money to pay for my rent.
Why don't you ask Kurt to loan you some money?
I'd rather dig trenches with a spoon than ask for his help.
I wouldn't be so proud if I were you. Sounds to me you don't have much of a choice.
No matter what. Examples. No matter what he says, don't believe him. No matter how you do it, it will be wrong. No matter where he goes, he carries his suitcase. No matter how you spend your holiday, tell me about it. Dialogues. What's bothering you?
I want to get out of here and get away from all my problems.
Are you sure that changing your location will solve your problems?
No, but at least things will be different.
No matter where you go, you will bring your problems with you.
I guess you're right.
No wonder. Examples. You eat so little. No wonder you are so slim. Are you a librarian? No wonder you are so well read. There is something wrong with your leg? No wonder you walk so slowly. Dialogues. Is there something wrong? You look so sad.
My house was robbed last night and the thieves stole all my furniture.
No wonder you look so upset.
Yeah. I called the police, but they said there was little they could do.
Why not?
Because there were no witnesses and the thieves didn't leave any traces.
Now that I come to think about it. Examples. Now that I come to think about it, you're right to dismiss him. Now that I come to think about it, how ignorant I was. Now that I think about it, you are wise not to have accepted him. Now that I think about it, he is a person really worth trusting. Dialogues. Where did you put my dictionary?
I'm sorry, but I can't remember where I put it last.
But that's my favorite dictionary.
Wait, now that I think about it, I left it on the kitchen table.
How could you be so careless? You should be more careful with other people's things.
Sorry. I'll be more careful next time.
Once you. Examples. Once you decide, you can't change your mind. Once you have a stomachache, take the medicine twice a day. Once he finds out what you've done, he'll get mad. Dialogues. My friends have been asking me to smoke cigarettes with them.
Be careful. You don't give in to peer pressure.
Why?
First of all, smoking is bad for your health, and second, once you start smoking it will be hard to stop.
Yeah, you're right. I know a lot of people who are addicted to smoking.
I bet most of them started because their friends also smoked.
You're right. I won't do it. I won't smoke with my friends. Only to find. Examples. I ran to the station only to find that the train had left. She came home excitedly only to find nobody was in. I searched desperately for my purse, only to find all my money was gone. I arrived at the restaurant, only to find I had no money on me. Dialogues. Why are you so late?
I'm sorry, but I missed the bus.
How could you miss the bus?
I hurried to get to the bus stop only to find I didn't have enough change to pay the fare.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I had to go back home and get some change and wait for the next bus.
On one hand, on the other hand. Examples. On one hand, it's convenient, but on the other hand, it's time-consuming. On one hand, he is very obedient to his wife, on the other hand, he treats his parents badly. On one hand, Jason does everything in the office, on the other hand, he does nothing at home. As a teacher, he is very patient in class, but on the other hand, he is not so patient with his own child. Dialogues. What do you think of Shakespeare?
On one hand, his plays are very interesting to watch, but on the other hand, they are hard to read.
I feel the same way sometimes.
So what do you do?
I just try to catch the general meaning of each sentence.
That sounds like a good idea.
See that. Examples. See that the door is locked before you leave. See that you have enough sleep every day. See that you go to see your parents often. Dialogues. You were late to work again this morning.
Yes, I'm sorry, but I had to help my mother go to the hospital. She was sick.
I don't care what you had to do. You're supposed to be on time. See that you're not late again.
But this was an emergency.
It's your third emergency this month.
Yeah, well, my mother gets sick a lot.
Speaking of. Examples. Speaking of the movies, have you seen The Patriot? Speaking of honesty, I know a lot of people who don't pay bus fares. Speaking of Ben, have you seen him recently? Speaking of bicycles, China is called the Kingdom of Bicycles. Dialogues. I can't wait until Valentine's Day.
Speaking of Valentine's Day, how is your girlfriend?
She's doing well. I took her out to dinner last night.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, the food was delicious.
Hey, speaking of food, are you hungry? Let's grab a bite to eat.
That sounds great. Let's get some Chinese food. Thanks to. Examples. Thanks to their help, we accomplished the task on time. Thanks to computers, lots of tasks are now easier. Thanks to your timely warning, I didn't make a mistake. Thanks to your stupidity, we lost our game. Dialogues. I'm so glad we won the game.
Thanks to you, you scored the final goal and won.
Actually, you deserve the credit. Thanks to you, the ball was passed to me and I scored.
Yeah, we all worked together.
I hope that we can win the next game.
If we work together like we did this past game, I'm sure we will.
Thank you for. Examples. Thank you for what you have done for me. Thank you for your help. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for giving me a lift. Thank you for your advice. Dialogues. I have a big favor to ask.
What is it?
Well, I need to borrow $1,000 for the down payment on a car.
Okay, I'll lend you the money, but you have to pay it back as soon as you can.
I promise I will. Thanks a million.
You're welcome.
The first thing I'm going to do when is. Examples. The first thing I'm going to do when I get home is sleep for a whole day. The first thing I'm going to do when I get a pay raise is to treat you to dinner. The first thing I'm going to do when I spend my vacation in the country is go fishing. Dialogues. Did you get a package in the mail today?
I sure did.
What was it?
A box of cookies from my mom.
That's great. She's coming here next week, isn't she?
Yes, she is. The first thing I'm going to do when I see her is give her a hug and thank her.
The more, the more. Examples. The more you put your heart into English, the more you'll be interested in it. The more you pay, the more you will gain. The sooner, the better. The earlier you set about your work, the sooner you will finish it. Dialogues. Are you still selling your car?
Yeah, but the more I think about it, the more I want to keep it.
Why's that?
Because buying a new car would be very expensive and I wouldn't be able to afford the insurance.
But you already put an ad in the paper.
I know, but if anybody calls, I'll just tell them it's not for sale anymore.
There is nothing as. Examples. There is nothing as exciting as meeting an old friend unexpectedly. For me, there is nothing as enjoyable as reading a novel on the grass. There is nothing as pleasant as spending a weekend in the countryside. There is nothing as refreshing as having a good rest. Dialogues. Do you cook for yourself?
Yes, I do, but it's not the same as what my mother makes.
I know what you mean. There's nothing as good as home cooking.
My mom's given me some recipes, but when I make them they don't come out the same as when she cooks.
Maybe you should just ask her to cook for you.
No, I'd rather try and learn myself.
There is nothing I like better than. Examples. There is nothing I like better than listening to the radio. There is nothing women like better than shopping. There is nothing she likes better than chatting with friends. Dialogues. Did you just finish playing basketball?
Yes, and I'm so thirsty.
How about a Coke?
That sounds great. There's nothing better than a cold Coke when you're hot and thirsty.
So how does it taste?
Great. Thanks a million.
We'd be better off without. Examples. We'd be better off without them as neighbors. We'd be better off without him at the party. They'd be better off without their wives around them. I'd be better off without the incident on my mind. Dialogues. Our new dog has been howling all night long.
I know. It's really getting on my nerves.
We should have gotten a quieter pet, like a fish.
I agree. I think we'd be better off without a dog.
So what are we going to do?
I guess we'll have to bring it back to the animal shelter.
We'd better. Examples. We'd better buy a computer. You'd better not ask him. You had best accept his success. You had best set out early. Dialogues. I heard the temperature is going to drop dramatically tonight.
Really?
Yes, so you'd better dress warmly before you go out.
I will. Thanks for telling me.
You're welcome. I wouldn't want you to catch a cold.
Thanks for your concern. I don't want to get sick either.
We may as well. Examples. We may as well buy a Benz since you don't like Ford. We may as well have a try since it's worth doing. We may as well take the risk. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Dialogues. We've been looking for your lost CD for hours.
It's got to be here somewhere.
We'll never find it. We may as well give up.
No way. It's my favorite CD.
Okay, I'll help you look for another 10 minutes, then I'm going home.
Don't worry, I know we'll find it.